everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. I am Vaishali Upadhyay from DPS Halwani Lamachor. Today we are going to start geography of chapter 5, that is major domains of the earth. In previous lecture we have learned about maps. Now today we are going to learn that is major domains of the earth. So first we will start with the chapter name, that is major domains of the earth. Chapter 5. Okay, now let's begin the chapter. As you have read in the first chapter, the earth is only planet which has life. In the first chapter you have read it, means how we are surviving and how the earth is our life. Human beings can live here because the life-sustaining elements of land, water and air are present on the earth. As you have learned in the previous lecture also, that earth is the only space where the human beings or the all living beings can survive here, because in this earth you can see the earth, the land, air and water, which is very essential for our life. The surface of the earth is a complex zone in which three main components of the environment meet, overlap and interact. Means in this earth, okay, means where you are surviving on, you are living, okay, in this earth or in a surface, you can is a complex zone. Means this is a complex zones where you can see three components which is connected to each other, okay, overlap and interact with each other. The solid portion of the earth on which we live is called lithosphere. Means the solid portion of the earth, जो earth का जो solid portion होता है, ठीक है, where we are living, where we are surviving, that is called a lithosphere. The gaseous layers that surround the earth, and means where the gaseous, whatever the gaseous you are seeing in your surroundings, आप अपने surrounding में जो भी air देखते हैं, जो भी gaseous या gas देखते हैं, that is called a atmosphere. Okay, now which contains how many gaseous? See, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. These gases you can see in your surroundings. ये gases ऐसी हैं जो आप अपने surrounding में daily basis पे देखते हैं, and that is called atmosphere. Water covers a very big area of the earth's surface, and this area is called the hydrosphere. Means as you know, the third-fourth portion of the earth is covered with water. Okay, किससे covered है? थर्ड फोर्थ हिस्सा जो है it has been covered by a water. water से cover है जिसे हम हाइड्रोस्फीयर भी बोलते हैं. And the hydrosphere comprises water in all its form, that is, and you can see the water in a different forms like ice, like water vapor. ठीक है, you can see the water in a different forms. The biosphere and the last one is biosphere. The biosphere is a narrow zone where we find land, water and air together, which contains all forms of life. Means biosphere means where you can see a narrow zone. एक छोटे से zone में, एक पतले zone में आप ये सारी ही चीजें, where you can see all the things. All the things means land, air and water, where you can see all the things together, that is called a biosphere. इसे क्या बोला जाता है? Biosphere. Now in this chapter you will learn about the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. Okay, so let's start with lithosphere. Okay, now we learn about, I told you the small meaning of these layers, okay, but now briefly we will talk about one by one. So let's start with the first topic, that is lithosphere. Lithosphere, the solid portion of the earth is called the lithosphere. As I told you earlier that lithosphere means the solid portion of the earth. Earth का जो एक solid portion होता है, that is called a lithosphere. It comprises, means it comes under rocks of the earth crust. अर्थ क्रस्ट की जो रॉक्स होती हैं, अर्थ की जो मतलब अर्थ के अंदर जितने भी आपको रॉक्स मिलेंगे, ठीक है, earth crust and the thin layer of soil that contain nutrients. The thin layer of the soil, आपकी जो soil की जो thin layer होती है जिसके अंदर क्या होते हैं, which contains nutrients elements which sustain organisms. There are main two divisions of the earth crust. In this you will see two divisions of the Earth's surface. The large land masses are known as the continent. जो बड़े हिस्से में होते हैं, means जो large area में होते हैं, वो क्या हो गए, that is called the continents. And the huge water bodies are called ocean basins. और जो बड़े water bodies में होते हैं, that is called a what, ocean basins. Now again I am repeating, जब एक लार्ज लैंड मास होता है, ठीक है, वेयर यू कैन सी अ लैंड मास, दैट इज नोन एज कॉन्टिनेंट. एक जमीन का एक हिस्सा, बड़ा सा हिस्सा, दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट, कॉन्टिनेंट्स. एंड ओशन बेसिन्स मीन्स द ह्यूज वाटर बॉडीज, एक बड़ी सी वाटर बॉडी, जब जहां पर बहुत ज्यादा पानी हो, ठीक है, दैट वी कॉल्ड एज ओशन basins. All the oceans of the world are connected with each other, means whatever the oceans you are watching, these all oceans are connected with each other. एक दूसरे से क्या होते हैं, they are connected. Look at the map of the world. As you can see in this map, okay, like Asia, Europe, of Africa, means all are connected with each other, with somehow. Okay, so the level of sea water remains the same everywhere, means whatever the level of the water, water का जो level होता है, it has been same everywhere. Elevation of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as zero, means the portion of the sea, आपका ये sea का portion है, like this is sea, ठीक है, और इसके ऊपर जो land होता है, ठीक है, इसे बोलते हैं एलिवेशन. मीन्स सी से उठा हुआ जो होता है लैंड मास, उसे बोला जाता है एलिवेशन. ओके, एंड द विच द सी इज मेजर्ड बाय अ जीरो. सी को हमेशा जीरो मेजर किया जाता है. हाउ मच वी मेजर्ड अ सी, दैट इज अ जीरो. ऑलवेज वी मेजर्ड अ सी एज अ जीरो. सी को हमेशा जीरो मेजर किया जाता है. Now next is the highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, is 8,848. As you have learned in the GK also, means the height of the mountain peak is how much? 8,848. Please underline these things, whatever I am repeating again and again. What is the height of a Mount Everest? That is 8,848 meters above the sea level. As I have told you, the level of the sea is, what is the level? Zero level. तो zero यानी कि sea से Mount Everest की जो height है, whatever the height is, what is the height? 8,848. Please remember this. The greatest depth of 11,022 meter is recorded at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean में जो Mariana Trench है, ठीक है, that ocean has made it the record, which is the highest depth. ठीक है, highest depth है वहाँ की, उस ओशियन की सबसे हाईएस्ट आप कह सकते हैं डेप्थ यानी कि गहराई, उसकी गहराई कितनी है 11,022 मीन्स in the earth you can see the highest depth of this ocean. Can you imagine the depth of a sea is much more than the highest point? Can you imagine means उसकी depth इतनी गहराई में है. Can you imagine that? Now we talk about the continents. अब हम पढ़ेंगे continents के बारे में. There are 7 major continents. In the previous classes also you have learned about the continents. How many continents we have? We have 7 continents. They are separated by a large water bodies or they all are separated with a large water bodies means सब में आपको क्या दिखेगा? A large water bodies. These continents are कौन सी continents है? Like Asia, Europe, Africa, now North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. So we have 7 continents. These are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. So we have 7 continents. Okay, first is Asia, Europe, Africa, that is A. Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. These are 7 continents. Look at the map of the world, figure 5.1. With the means in the previous page we have given one map, ठीक है? And notice that the greatest part of the land mass lies in the northern hemisphere, where you can see the map. आप मैप देखिए और उसमें बताइए कि सबसे बड़ा लैंड मास कहाँ पर दिया है, जो नॉर्थन हेमिस्फीयर पे लाई करता है. ठीक है? Now the largest continent. अब we talk about the continents one by one. We will talk about the continents. First we will talk about the Asia. अब हम एशिया के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Which is the largest continent? एशिया क्या है? सबसे बड़ा कॉन्टिनेंट है. Asia is the largest continent. Means the whatever continents you have learned. How many continents we have? We have 7 continents. In the 7 continents, Asia is the only one which is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the land area of the earth, and Asia continent has covered how much land? 1/3 of the earth. अर्थ में जो लैंड है, ठीक है, अर्थ के लैंड का 1/3 पोर्शन who has covered? Asia continent. The continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. Where is an Asia continent? Asia continent किससे lie करता है? In the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. In the previous chapter you have learned about the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, right? So that continent passes through which? Tropic of Cancer. Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural mountain on the west. Means Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural mountain on the west. The combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called the Eurasia. Means Europe and Asia. Where see, I'll show you in this map. See, this is Asia. That yellow one portion is your Asia, and it is passes through this Europe. ठीक है, यूरोप से भी कनेक्ट हो रहा है ना. तो इन ये क्या है, दोनों जो कॉन्टिनेंट्स हैं वो थोड़े बहुत मिले हुए हैं, आपस में मिले हुए हैं, as you can see in the picture. So they have interconnected, वो connected हैं and they are combined. So they were saying to this continent is यूरेशिया. इसे यूरेशिया भी बोला जाता है. Why? Because both the continents are connected with each other. Both the continents means Europe plus Asia. Okay. Now we will learn about next is Europe. First we have learned about Asia. Now we learn about Europe. Okay. Europe. See, यूरोप इज मच स्मॉलर देन एशिया. आपने पिक्चर में भी देखा होगा कि जो एशिया है, देखिए एशिया क्या है, बड़ा कॉन्टिनेंट है. ओके, एज यू कैन सी इन द पिक्चर, एशिया इज द लार्जेस्ट कॉन्टिनेंट और यूरोप उससे छोटा है, उससे क्या है, थोड़ा स्मॉल है. द कॉन्टिनेंट लाइज टू द वेस्ट ऑफ एशिया मीन्स दैट कॉन्टिनेंट इज लाइज एशिया के वेस्ट साइड पे है. द आर्टिक सर्कल पासेस थ्रू इट एंड विच सर्कल पासेस थ्रू आर्टिक सर्कल. It is bound by water bodies on three sides. It is bounded by a water from the three sides से water bounded है. ठीक है, look at the map of the world and locate it. Now next we learn about Africa. We learn about Africa. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. Means as I have told you, after the Asia, Africa is the only second largest continent. ठीक है, second largest continent कौन सा है, Africa. The first one is Asia. Now the equator or zero latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. Means as you can see in the map, okay, Africa, यहां पर से तीनों लाइंस क्या हो रही हैं, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर भी आ रहा है, इक्वेटर भी आ रहा है एंड ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैप्रिकॉर्न. तीनों ही चीजें इसमें लाई कर रही हैं. ठीक है, द लार्ज पार्ट ऑफ एशिया लाइज टू द नॉर्थर्न हेमिस्फीयर. जो अफ्रीका का जो लार्ज पोर्शन है वो कहाँ लाई करता है, इन द northern hemisphere, as you can see in the map 5.1. So it is the only continent through which tropic of Cancer, the equator, the tropic of Capricorn passes. If you will see, ठीक है, if you will see the world map, if you will see, तो you can see that कि अफ्रीका किससे पास होते हुए जा रहा है, tropic of Cancer, tropic of Capricorn and the equator. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert. The world's largest hot desert, that is the Sahara Desert. It is located in Africa. ये भी अफ्रीका में located है. The continent is bound on all sides of oceans and seas. Means if you will see there, all the oceans and seas surrounded there only. Look at the map, world map. That is figure 5.1. You will notice that the world longest river, which is कौन सी है longest river, that is Nile. ठीक है, that flow through Africa. Notice where the equator, the tropic of Cancer and the tropic of Capricorn pass in the map of Africa. Means in the map you can see all these three things: tropic of Cancer, tropic of Capricorn and the equator. Now come to our next, North America. North America is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Panama. Means North America is the third largest. First one is Asia, second is Africa and the third one is North America. North America is the third largest continent, okay, of the world and it is linked with the South America by a narrow strip. narrow strip में linked है, and that land we call Isthmus of Panama. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. ये कहाँ से linked up होते हैं? Northern and western hemisphere. 3 oceans surround this continent. Can you name them? Now next, come to our next topic. How much we have covered? We have covered Asia. Second is Europe. Third is Africa. Fourth is North America. And fifth is South America. South America. Now seeing this, what is there? South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. That is quite obvious. It is in southern hemisphere side, which has 2 oceans around it on the east and the west. The Andes, the world's longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south. कौन सी longest river, which name is the Andes, ठीक है? Or it goes through a lengthwise, if we say it goes through north to south pole. South America has world largest river, and that name is the Amazon. Now come to our next one, that is Australia. That is Australia. Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is entirely lies in a southern hemisphere. It is surrounded by all the sides of the ocean and the seas. ये किससे surrounded है? By oceans and the seas, and that we call the island continent. और इस ऑस्ट्रेलिया को in Australia we called as a Iceland continent. उसे Iceland continent भी बोला जाता है because most of the part you can see there in the oceans as well as in the seas. Now next is, and the last is, Antarctica. Antarctica. Now see what is there in the Antarctica. Antarctica completely in the southern hemisphere. It is completely in the southern hemisphere, and a huge continent. That is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent. Means South Pole also lies or almost lie in this middle center of continent, as it is located in the South Polar region. It is in the South Polar region. It is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. Means most of the space, most of the land you can see that is covered with the ice. There are no permanent human settlement, as of course you have seen that the most of the land or a space has been covered with the ice. So that means there is a lot of cold in the climate. So because of this, it is impossible, or we can say this is not possible to survive in that cold area. So human settlement you can see means no permanent human settlements was there. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. Many means most of the countries they have researched the station in Antarctica, and India is one of them who has researched one station there. These names as uska naam jo means India has searched a station, and that name is Matri and Dakshini Gangotri. Okay. Now come to.
This is the end of this topic. Now we will discuss next topic in our next video.